and welcome to Quick Looks with the Casual Hour. My name is Bobby. Joining me for this one, the gamer on the go, Chase Kinnicky, and I would like you to help me save these beautiful little bees.
Buzz off, Bobby.
Don't tell. How dare you? Bees need our love and support. They're wonderful creatures.
You're such a drama queen.
I'm a drama queen bee.
Drama queen bee. There you go. Yep.
Heyo, Bobby is my name.
Oh no.
Chase, we're playing Apico, a game that I'm pretty obsessed with, and I would like more people to be obsessed with for a lot of reasons. What do you know about saving bees in this video game?
I know this is a Bobby-ass game.
Big
but
time.
I'm looking forward to hearing you talk about it. This was developed by TNgineers, which is a small studio. I don't know much about them. In fact, they're small enough when you try to click on their name on Steam, it takes you to the publisher page instead of a developer page, which is kind of fun. But it's published by Whitethorn Games. Okay. You might know some of the stuff that they've published. Do you remember Lake, the one where he plays a postal worker?
Yeah. They did that.
Yeah, they published that. They published a game called Evan's Remains that I played on my Switch and thought was generally pretty good. They've worked on some stuff. They also published a game called Onsen Master. Bobby, do you know what an onsen is? It's a Japanese thing. I'll give you a hint.
No.
Okay.
No, I don't.
It's not an anime thing, but it is a thing that shows up in anime. An onsen is like a public bathhouse thing, like a hot springs thing. That's an onsen. And anime loves it because that's when people get naked. Anyway, we're talking about bees. This is Apico. It came out late May here, May 20th, and it's out on PC and Mac.
Yes.
And that's it. I believe. I think this is just a PC
I think
game
it is going to be coming to other things, I believe.
Okay.
I believe.
No. Are we going to do this the whole time?
And I certainly hope not, but we'll see.
Okay.
So Chase, it is absolutely my shit. You punch down trees to get things, to make tools that make getting trees easier, and then you can go out and get stones. But one of the things that I have found like incredibly fascinating about this game is really, I mean, it's in the bees, right? Like, it's about bee breeding. It's about helping bee species become more populated in areas that they haven't been, understanding biomes and what sort of things can you get back from bees. So you can see, like, this is a little area that I've built, and it's these kind of isometric slices that you're going to be using, that kind of like Link to the Past-esque. And you can build out your walls and floor. There's no roofs. There's no doors or anything like that. It's very simple when it comes to its building mechanics. But there's a lot that goes into other things, which is going to be all about your bee upkeep. So in doing so, you're going to naturally find things out in the wild. Flowers, trees, stones. And you'll even come across what's considered to be a natural hive. Now, there's going to be some different colored hives, and there's going to be even more of those as you start to venture out.
Are those bees underwater up there in the north?
They're not underwater, but they are bees that do like water. And I've got a few bees that are outright.
Do bees usually like water?
Well, let me reference our handy dandy bee guide here.
Are these real bees or are these fake bees?
I think that these are fake bees. I don't know enough about bees. Like, if you ask me,
Misty bee, are those really loud bees?
They're very loud bees.
Okay.
They've got different tiers here.
Sorry to our co-host Johnny.
I'm not.
I know you're not.
Like, if you would say, hey, like, Bobby, what does a bee look like? I'd probably point here, maybe over here a little bit to the common and uncommon.
Yeah.
So
yellow, black stripes.
So every bee has traits, and that would be lifespan, productivity, fertility, and stability. And those are going to pop up over here, and you're going to see those traits that come across it. Down here beneath it, there's going to be other things like what time of the day are they active. what kind of environment do they like to be in, dry, desert, etc. You can see what they produce. So like this bee is going to give us bee pollen. The common bee is found practically everywhere on this area, a general friendly, dependable, and well-rounded species.
That's not what that word said.
Archipelago.
Bobby, I love you.
Just get it out of the way, Chase. Do your thing. Do your thing that you like to do. Do it. Go ahead.
I do. I will.
Go ahead.
It's an archipelago.
Thank you so much. Now we can move forward.
Now we all learned. Everybody knows
Yes.
now.
We can't ever do anything with language on this show.
It's a spelling bee, Bobby.
Yeah. I don't like those, and I don't like this.
Did you lose? Did you participate in a spelling bee at school?
No.
Okay.
I
did. It was bad. I lost on the word canteen.
Well, this is a very exciting thing, Chase, because what we have done, what I have done, and you were here to witness, is we've got a undiscovered bee that we're going to learn about.
Oh shit!
So this is a swarmer that I built, and
I actually do really like these click out menu things.
Dude, I cannot wait to show you the menus. That is probably the secret sauce of this game. Is the menus and what they've done with it. It is the absolute best, and if other people do not copy what they have done with the menus in this, I swear to fucking whatever. I swear to the bees, Chase. It's one of the absolute... I can't wait to show it to you. Anyway, so I figured out that we had a verge bee here, and this is a swarmer. Mm-hmm. This is... If you have the potential to create a mutated species or based off of a hybrid species, the swarmer is the best option for it. And so...
Are you playing God?
Kind of.
Okay.
So I'm going to grab these other two bees that I knew what we were going to have, and let's figure out what this one is. What did we get?
Whoa.
Holy shit. What did we get?
It's a bee.
It's a vibrant bee. Awesome.
Apis claris.
And it makes hive dust. So over there in the bottom right-hand corner, you can see that they're giving you, like, hey, if you move a vibrant bee in with a verdant bee, you're going to get a regal bee. And so now I know that, like, I would want to try and do that. So let me show you a little bit about, like, the cool shit that, like, makes me nerd out even harder on a game that, like, I already love crafting and building and doing all this shit, but now you're bringing this whole element into it. So I'm going to come down to my house, and up here I've got some tools. One of the first ones that I've got is a microscope. And anytime you do 3 reads of a species, you're going to unlock more information in your book that further tells you, like, what you're going to get from it, where you can find it, etc. So this vibrant bee, we're going to learn that it does like rain, and it's going to be busy during the day. So you're not going to get any activity from this thing at night, and it's going to prefer to be by the water. This one is fertile, and this one is stable. It's not very productive. So, like, I'm not going to get a lot of, like, honey out of this one. It's not a good worker bee. Mm-hmm. So if I was really, like, wanting to grind out those types of things, and, like, I don't know what you mean by that, down here. But, like, I don't know who would want to collect all those things.
No, certainly not.
But this bee would not be one that I would put to work.
So what do you do with it? You would just breed it for other things?
Well, so it is very fertile. So, like, I would absolutely be looking at this bee as one that, like, if I wanted to get a queen, mm-hmm. which I'll show you the specifics there here in a second. Okay.
So like maybe these guys aren't very productive, but you showed the way to get a regal bee. Maybe the regal bees have the kinds of things that you're looking for. Okay.
So these are my bee boxes, and inside of them, like, I'm gonna move this one over, and now these are unlimited space. Like, this is really cool because before you had access to these, you had your standard storage boxes, which would fill up. Mm-hmm. But now, anytime I get a vibrant bee, I can put that in here, unlimited amount.
Oh, they just stack?
They stack up like this. So, like, I can open this one up, and you know how I talked about those windows?
Yeah.
So now I can just open this shit up and start.
Okay, this is just a shit ton of Post-it notes.
So, like, this is how it'll break those down. So, like, it's going to do it based off of their traits. So like I know that bee down here is super fertile, and I can mouse over it. This one up here, like that's going to be a very good worker bee, so like I can look at that, and it's so like there's some options there with it. Let me show off these windows really quick because I cannot stress enough like how helpful this is for a game like that. So up here, your hot bar, these items are going to be like I can scroll through those and grab them and use them. I can expand my backpack and put more stuff into it if I want to. But this stuff down here is just like taking up space, so I can move this around. A lot of these games are going to use a hotkey, which is just a shift click. So like Minecraft, a bunch of other games like that will use it when you're moving things into it. I've got this area, which is going to be most of my wood and wood adjacent items. So right now, if I want to like...
It's a very Hank Hill way to say that.
Yeah. And you can just click this arrow and it'll automatically sort any of your windows.
Yeah.
And that's super helpful. But you can see that this is orange here. So if I was moving through it, nothing's going to happen. I now have set this window to be my target window. So I could have other things open as well. But if I start to go through here and I shift click, it's automatically putting it down into that window. And if I click over here and just said, hey, put it there, it's now going to move that here. So like usually in games like this, you have to walk up to the crate, click on it, drag shit over to it, go to the next one and dump all your shit. But if I just came back from a hike or something, I could open up all these windows and just empty out my backpack pretty quick. And I can also drag in between here and then organize again how I need to. So I can close these out. Now I got a bunch of bees, so I know I got some common bees. I've got some verge bees. So I'm going to find my common and my verge bees. And we'll go from there. So now I want to get rid of all my common bees out of my backpack. I'm just going to start clicking through. They're good. Then I'm going to click here and empty that out really quick. So it's just a brilliant way of doing it.
Just the abbreviations. V, I'm guessing, is the verdant, or the verge, and the C is common. But when one says VC, what does that mean exactly?
Yeah. So let me grab that B, and if we go over here to our predictor, which is this thing, I'm going to take that B out. It's not a queen. So that's basically letting us know. Do I have a queen in here? If I have a queen, I can show you that really quick. Yeah, there we go. Nope. I know I have it on my comments. There we go. That is an actual queen. So that one, if I click here, when you put a queen in, it's going to show you the possibilities of what you can get from that.
Oh, God. This is like dominant versus recessive genes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And if you're wanting to learn about that, they've done a really great job of like
breaking
breaking
this
this
down.
down.
Since high school science.
So here, they're going to talk a little bit about like how to do that. And the cool thing is like once you do some of this stuff, they give you in-game items. This is a really awesome tutorial. It's one of the better ones I've had for a game in some time. So this is letting us know, like here's your chances. Like you need to be doing some breeding during the day.
It looks like rain today. Just want to let you know.
What's up? Oh,
it looks like rain today. Yeah.
Okay. If I wanted to get a verge, there's a 25% chance. This is only a 19. This is a 19. So if I brought in a verge bee with this queen, or if I was making a common with a queen, like a common and a verge to get this one, like I would need to be there's your odds, right, to get that stuff.
Okay.
So
what are you doing with the stuff? Are you just selling your honey and your hive dust and your other shit, or is there a deeper thing to what you're exchanging here for all this effort?
So you are capturing, of course, bees, right? And you're going to be breeding bees and trying to get them back into a regulatory status, like where they're good. And there's a whole thing that you can do. Like I've got a release house over here, so I can just put a bunch of bees in here, and that's going to help them get back into those those levels. So like if I come over here to, you can see that the conservation status of this one is lost. So we have we need to bring this bee back in a bigger way. But if I came over here to one of these hives and I bring this up, I'm going to put 2 bees in and make a queen. This is how you're going to start that process. So this is a natural hive. Anytime you create a bee in here, this queen's going to give us honey. It's also going to give us...
Bobby, you're being a little loud. These bees are sleeping. Please.
Oh,
please.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Sorry. Anytime that you have a natural hive, the queen, it's going to make the exact same versions of itself. But if we were using an apicary or an apiary, there's a possibility for like more of the hybrid species. So she's not going to do anything at night. Let me just go and pass the time really quick to show what that would be. I'm not going to go through.
Whoa, who's over there to the right?
That's Bobby.
Wait, you're Bobby.
I am Bobby. We're going to pass the time really quick.
Are there 2 of you?
There are 2 of me. So there are NPCs in the game.
Okay.
And we're going to go over there and
does that one's name just happen to be Bobby?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it with an I?
No.
What? Isn't that a lady?
Oh, that's Beatrix. Bobby looks like Beatrix. Bobby's down the way.
Okay.
It's BOBEE.
Oh, okay.
So everybody, there's like, you can talk to them and they'll be like, hey, you're doing good. You've got X, Y, or Z going. But when you go to shop, they're always going to have an item that's discounted deeply. And then there's just other things that you can grab if you didn't want to go through the whole crafting piece of it.
Is everyone in this game bee crazy or?
Yes.
Okay.
And like you have a status board down here where there's going to be bee jobs.
Oh
so
god, this seems like a lot. This seems like a lot of stuff.
It's wonderful. It's so good. There's Bobby.
Yeah.
So if you bring this item there, you'll be able to get other things. So they're like little odds and ends. Pretty laid back and chill. Here's the skipper. Same thing. Buy shit. I do need some bottles. So let me grab about 20 of those.
That's a lot of bottles.
Well, that's where we make the big money. So there's all kinds. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like bottling honey?
No.
Bottling bees?
Nope. So there's a few tools that you're going to be using to get things when you go out to your little bee houses. You're going to want to put these frames into them.
Uh-huh.
And then when you have those are what get filled up with honey, right?
Right.
So like I would grab this house here, and then I could just bring these down. And then the other thing that's going to happen is like I could get a hybrid bee out of this, but then these are going to fill up with honey while they're in there. And then once that's full, I would bring those down, and you have to uncap it to get the honey out. Mm-hmm. And then once the honey's out, you're going to spin. It doesn't take very long. Let me just grab 2 bees and show you really quick. We'll do these rocky bees. But you're making like a cola or a tea. Is essentially what you're selling for the big bucks. And
okay.
There's a whole process of doing that. So like once I get that out, I'll be able to pull out like those items that you would see. So when they talked about like what the bees would be giving you, it's like this bee's going to give us hive dust. Mm-hmm. So as I uncap it and then I put it into the centrifuge, it's going to spin these out. That's where the honey is going to go. So like this is going to capture the honey. This is going to give me plant seeds, which then I can plant like hybrid flowers, which are going to attract more bees in and help them be more thriving in a natural environment. So I'm going to pull that shit out of here. But then every special item that like different breeds of bees have will pop out here as well. So that's where like the stuff that you see down here shows up. So like you're going to get your beeswax, but then also these are like the different flowers. So then it's going to pop out seeds. It's like an Animal Crossing, right? Like when you start to like do hybrid flowers, mm-hmm. That's what I'm doing here. but the bees are doing the work for us because they're cross-pollinating things. So as we get their honey, we're getting that cross-pollination stuff out of it that we can use. So then once I get like raw honey, which goes out of the centrifuge, I'll come down here to this tank, not that one, this one, and I'll put my honey here, and I need to bring more water into it. So I've got, and luckily for us, it's raining. I've got a rain tank right out here. So I just put this here, grab some water. That fills up. Once that's good to go.
How long have you been playing this?
Probably like 10 hours.
This feels like a lot of mechanics.
It is a lot of mechanics. It's a lot. There's a lot of things here.
But you seem to. It seems to kind of be second nature for you. So you've.
Yeah, like it's. So these machines up here, like this saw, you see how it's got this cog in it?
Mm-hmm.
That will be something like I'll crank it up a few times and then it just runs. So a lot of the stuff that you would be doing in the game is kind of manual at the start of it, but I've like these are the second tier versions. And this stuff here in my backpack, this honey core crystal. Mm-hmm. So over here where it says honey core, I've just now got to the point where I can get this stuff, and this is going to allow me to essentially like harness bees in a way that will let them kind of operate machinery. Following along?
Kind of.
So the next tier of what I'll be building, because this is now like I still have to crank this stuff.
Uh-huh.
Like this is going, like this is going to go without anything. I just have to make sure it's got the stuff in it to make the Apico, right? So then that's where I would take this over to my bottling station, which I've got there, and I just bought all those bottles.
Oh, okay.
I thought I bought those bottles. Didn't I buy bottles?
Were they still at the skipper? Did you put them in your backpack, or were they just...
I mean, maybe. I thought I bought them. Are they just hanging out?
So then you're selling the cola.
Yeah. Oh, there's my bottles. Okay.
You just bought them and you put them on layaway?
Yeah, I put them on layaway. So that is, those bottles go for, and you can like find other things to infuse into it, and like there's other like things that'll help out with that. But this bottling station now, if I took these, it's going to take that bottle over. Move this down here. And now I've got one of those. And that's going to sell for $15 a bottle.
Okay.
And that's where I make like most of my money.
Sure.
So and you'll use that. Like I just bought.
Just a simple process.
Just a simple process. But all that to say led me to where I can now get my boat.
Yeah, okay, sure. I'm just waiting for this to turn into like a Frog Fractions where you're like, oh, and now I got in the boat, and all that stuff doesn't matter anymore because now I can go to a new island, or now I can just go to space for no reason.
Well, I mean, there's a fox
that's singing.
He sells a record player.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And I can bring that back to my house if I wanted to like buy some tracks. We'll come back to him.
Okay.
So,
Bobby, I'm losing my... You pitched this to me as like, oh, this is just this like really chill little crafting game, and I'm having a good time with it. And I'm like, okay, I'm up for something chill, and you've brought me here, and this is just so many goddamn mechanics.
Dude, this is a very chill survival.
I mean, it doesn't. I mean, it seems like there's no
combat.
There's no combat, but there's also no
hunger
penalty.
Bars.
There's no penalty for not doing stuff. You're just not getting anything more. It's not like you have big flashing lights that are going, oh, you need to put water in this. You're not making honey. Put water in this now. But it's so many mechanics.
There's a lot, and there's a bunch of different biomes. So this is the map.
Oh my god.
So but really, like again, in comparison to other things, it's not terrible. Like, you've got the main plot of land up in the northeast there, where I've started off.
Yeah.
And we just came down here in the tundra, and that's where Bobby's at. And this is where you're going to get those crystals, the honey core crystal. But there's also like a new mechanic that I haven't figured out yet how to craft for, which, you know, like if you've watched any proper beekeeping, you have to, you know, smoke the bees to calm them down.
Sure, yeah. I'm big on beekeeping YouTube.
So there's a few, I think there was one up here at the top. It's like it has like a red X by it, like a natural hive that I can't interact with until I figure out how to like craft a smoker to calm them down. And that's something that I hope to get here soon. But yeah, that hive there, like that's an example of one that I can't touch this one yet. Those bees are grumpy. Use a smoker to calm them down. So I'm gonna take my boat back to the mainland here and work on my cola. But I really like this game. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I know that's not a lot for people to like figure out and get past, but it's something that I've been playing. I would say 8 of those 10 hours have been on my Steam Deck, and it plays really well there. You don't quite get the menu systems like you have with the mouse here.
Sure.
But it's very much an enjoyable experience.
Did you build this area out yourself, or can you?
Yeah.
Okay. Could you build it to look a little bit more uniform, or is it just supposed to look kind of natural like this?
I wanted it to be as natural as possible. That was more of a choice on my part.
Okay.
And that's what this looks like once you get your honeycomb, by the way. But I want it to be like this, like kind of like wild pasture, where I would just be putting the flowers that these bees were making to keep them happy. Because the other thing too is like I'm just trying to release them here, and I had my main hub set up because you start over at the skipper, like you come in on the boat, and that's where you're at. So I didn't venture off too far, and the reason being is, this is what really, it was a very overwhelming start for me on just like learning about the bees, and like once I got it down, and like if you just anytime you play a game like this, if you just follow the steps, like, hey, once you craft something and you use it, you're going to be in a much better spot to do that. Hey, here's how you make the smoker, it looks like. And that's how you're going to be doing those things. Okay, good to know. So I got some more stuff to do.
So but is this something where you're going to eventually clear out all of these trees and just have hives everywhere?
Well, that's the thing. They make you feel like... They're like, oh yeah, just go ahead and deforest here so you can take care of the bees. Like they're like, we're trying to solve one problem by creating another one, and like they kind of acknowledge it there. But by
they you mean the other townsfolk,
the developer, like in the book as you're going through it. Like I think that you might even see, where's it at here? Gathering resources. Going. Some trees, and you can hold down the tool, collect 10 logs. Maybe it was when you're actually like in the game it popped up and said, yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's just very, very well done. It is co-op also. You don't have to have a server. If I went to, I don't think I can go to the main menu from here, but there's a mod scene as well where you can like. They've got a few examples of like what the mods could look like, where they like somebody's added a fishing pole. So there's a whole fishing mechanic that you can just mod into the game if you wanted to have that as well.
Yeah, this needs more mechanics. It does seem a little light.
I'm having a blast with it. I love the art style. I like the tone.
I do love these trees. I love these little square trees. Those are very fun.
Yep. It's great. And like once you get up and running with like how you want to operate your bees, because this here is like incredibly productive, because I can just have honeycomb being made, and then I can get for a while when I was like figuring out like how do I breed bees, like how do I get these variations, I was just running through it. So like I would come out, grab all the honey like I did, and then in the hive I would take these 2 bees, because this would be empty, I'd bring them back over here, make a queen, start getting honey, and then as she was reproducing, I would just put them down here. And as this was full, I would then just transfer all of them up to my hotbar, and then come down. And like the other thing is like I can access this from being out here. It's like I could just be outside working, that window's up, and now I could just move stuff around really quick and get back to work. So it's incredibly efficient on how I'd want to work. Like I could open up all my hives and then just start moving shit around if I wanted to. And
okay, Bobby, hive gotta go here.
Chase, I know that I probably melted your brain with this one. I love this game. Please check it out. I think it's $20 right now on Steam. It's got plans to be on other consoles as well. We play games like this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Well, Monday and Friday.
I hope not like this.
On twitch.tv/casualhour. We record podcasts where we talk about games like this, and then we put that podcast out there to everybody, wherever you listen to podcasts, every Friday morning. Chase, I've had a great time. I don't know if you can say the same, but
I'm glad you're enjoying this, and I bet if I started it from the start and eased into it like I'm sure you got to, that
yes.
This stuff would be making sense. But this was a lot. This is a lot of stuff.
I mean, think about like if somebody who just started Animal Crossing came to your
no, absolutely, I get it, but
I think that like Animal Crossing does maybe to a fault, like, and all these games do, like they slow down and then they speed up and they give you like okay, you know what we're doing here, go wild, and it's like, well, how do I do that? And like it's the curse of these games.
Sure.
But this has been a ton of fun, and you should maybe eventually play it with me when you feel comfortable.
Well, we'll see about that. We still need to play Stardew Valley and get back to that.
Yeah, we do. We'll start with some grassroots. Thanks for hanging out, man. This has been a lot of fun. Take care, everybody.